Welcome back, and in today's video we have Ennui from Inside Out 2.
Ennui.
Right, sorry.
It's what you would call the boredom.
I was not aware of that.
I haven't seen Inside Out 2 yet. I'm waiting for it to come on Disney Plus. I believe it comes out on the 27th, but if you have, let me know your favorite character in the comments below. I started off with realistic in today's video because I really wanted to give a really awesome image to showcase the beginning of the piece. Also, another reason why I want to start with realistic is because hair texture is something that a lot of people have a problem with. So by giving you this time lapse, I want you to see how much detail and how many layers go into doing hair and just realism in general. A lot of questions are like, hey, can I get a tutorial about this? Can you show me how to do this? There's no real tutorial for realism. It's a lot of just strenuous hours studying, looking, and analyzing whatever form you're trying to draw. Though I might not be able to give you a full-length tutorial, here are some tips that can help you, though, with doing realism. You want to work lightly and you want to work in layers. So when I'm doing the hair, I work gently and in layers, very softly, especially with colored pencils, because once you put it down heavy, it's almost impossible to try and blend it back out. Same can be said for skin tones. When you work with skin tones of any type, whether it's an imaginary creature like this or a human being, you want to make sure that you work lightly and in layers. I'm pressing a little hard in the dark area right here, but that's because I've already established it as a dark and I don't really need to blend that much back in. And if I happened to, then I could use an acrylic paint pen or I could use a white to then burnish back in. Burnishing is a technical term. It's when you flatten the paper with colored pencil. It's when also all of the colors kind of flatten together. It's kind of like in Photoshop when you flatten all of your layers together. It almost makes it impossible then to relayer on top unless you use an entirely different medium. Next up, we have the drip style, and I haven't really done drip in a really long time, so I figured since Ennui has a very mopey, tired, exhausted kind of look, very slouched posture, I thought the drip would actually work really, really well. Before we get any further in the video, I really want to say thank you so much for all of your support with the Inside Out 2 videos. The amount of views and the amount of engagement that you guys have given me from the videos is absolutely awesome, and I just want to take this time to thank you. And if you do like the content, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. It lets YouTube know that you like the content and you have been liking the content, so it would do me a really, really awesome favor. Hit that like button. I really appreciate every comment and every subscriber that comments to my channel. I always try to answer every comment that comes through my channel. I hope you enjoy the content. Let's get back to the video. I know a lot of times when people see the drip effect, you see a Posca. I generally don't like using Posca markers with this just because I like to add a little bit more 3 dimensions. The Posca is really great for illustrative work, but that's just not my strong suit. Next up is the pulled effect. Now this is something different, so I hope you like what you see. Once again, I really do feel like this fits Ennui because of the slouched posture. It almost feels like he's being pulled and stretched in different directions. Let me know if this is something you want to see more of, or if this is just not really your thing. Similar to the drip effect, I really didn't want to use Posca markers because once again, I want to showcase a very stretched, pulled, and add a lot more 3 dimensions to the piece. And next up is horror. And I think you're really going to love this because I went with an Real Monsters look to this drawing. And if you don't know what that is, it was an amazing show on Nickelodeon. My inspirations were drawn from the character of Oblina. And if you haven't seen the show, it's really cool. It came out in 1994. I was actually 13. Yeah, I just dated myself. But it's such an amazing show. It's a dark horror comedy, fun show for Nickelodeon. It was kind of on the edge of what they were doing, and the characters are just amazingly well drawn. I loved the art designs in that show, and I kind of paid a gentle homage to it in this drawing. Again, for the hair textures, I work in layers. I started dark to light, and I used the paint pens as I got lighter to add the little highlights in the hairs. Something that I do for my horror effects is I generally keep my colors muted. I keep them on the grayer scales. I don't keep them as pungent and as bold. That's just an aesthetic. It's more of a horror zombie aesthetic. You don't want to have very bright, vivid colors. If you like this video, then YouTube thinks that you'll really love this video. We're located here.